Hello, this is Alicia, and welcome to my math class. Well, today we're going to be working on subtraction with regrouping using two-digit numbers. Now, I know you all have been subtracting one digit minus one digit, but I'm going to show you some strategies, some methods, and some ideals in order to help to regroup and carry over when you're subtracting two-digit numbers. So we're going to be using Nearpod lesson. Of course, I'll put the link in the chat. And then, of course, I will share my code. And then we're going to get started. Get ready to learn with Michelle. All right, now, make sure everybody can see my screen. Now, we're going to be subtracting with regrouping using two-digit numbers. And of course, everyone's in. Good job. Everyone's all in. That's excellent. Now, here's how I sent your question for the day. What strategies can we use to subtract two-digit numbers? So let's see what strategy we're going to find out. I know you're excited. First, we're going to engage and explore and do it together. I'm going to show you, then we're going to do it together, and then you're going to have an opportunity to do it on your own. Isn't that exciting? Yes. Now let's engage and explore. Now, you're going to check what you already learned because I know you're already wonderful students that already know a lot. So I need you to know, do you have any idea or, Michelle, what are we talking about? What is regrouping? So here's your first question. How much do you already know about subtraction with regrouping? You can tell me, I know a lot. Michelle, I know this. This is easy. I know a little, Michelle, or Michelle, I don't know anything. So go ahead and complete it. Select your answer, and then we're going to move forward. And of course, if you know a lot, you can help Michelle and help each other because we're in this together, right? Right. And then if you know a little, then I'm helping you know a lot more. And if you don't know anything, Michelle is here to help you along the way. Okay. Now I'm checking on the teacher side. Yes, everyone answered. Good job. Let's move onward. Now let's review what is a two-digit number. Two-digit numbers have a digit in the ones place. Remember, we learned that in first grade, our tens place and then our ones place. And of course, tens place is on the left and then the ones place is on the right side. He's all by himself. And so when you have two-digit numbers, and of course, you could definitely raise your hand and give me some two-digit number expressions. Yes. So two-digit numbers have a two-digit in the ones place and a digit in the tens place. For example, two-digit numbers 34, 85, 92, and 41. All right. Now, you've seen also the base 10 blocks. There's many ways to show place value. Place value is my favorite. I know you all are second graders, and so you're still learning how to, subtract bigger numbers and calculate different numbers. But if you remember your base 10 blocks, of course, base 10 blocks represent place value numbers. We can show a two-digit number using our base 10 blocks. See, the dots are the tens place, and the circles can be the ones place. We can represent the number 552 as 5 tens or 2 ones with 5 rods and 2 circles. Now, Michelle calls these 5 sticks in circles. So you can have your base 10 blocks and then your 2 circles or your ones digits circles. All right. Now, represent the number 16 using the base 10 blocks. And of course, I'm going to show you, and then you can show me as well on the next go around, okay? So I'm going to use my little marker here, and I'll pick the color black. So, of course, first things first, the thing we always do first. I'm going to do it, and then you're going to do it. We're going to do it together. How about that? So we have a 1 here. Put the one in the ones place. And of course, always make sure you have the one in the tens place, and then you have the 6 in the ones place. Now, always put your numbers first. And then now we're going to draw our base 10 blocks. And of course, how many set of tens do we need? One set. Yes, one set. And if you don't know what one set is one set of tens. One set of tens, one stick. That means you in that one rod, you have 10 squares, 10 numbers, okay? One, we're gonna put them all together. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm gonna put one at the top because Michelle ran out of room. 10. So that's one set of tens. Of course, if we have two, there'll be two set of what? Tens. Now we're gonna draw our 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 circles. So this represents the number 16. We have one set of tens and 6 ones. All right. Now, here's a question for you. How do you think understanding place value can help you subtract? And you most definitely can give me a type in the answer on the post-it board, or you can record your answer, or you can give me a picture as well. How do you think understanding place value will help you understand? First thing you can do is, for me, this is my answer. Of course, you can have your answer as well. How do you think understanding place value can help you subtract? It can help you understand the location of numbers. So your answers can be correct when you calculate. Now that's one way. Now, if you want to use a picture, say, Michelle, I just want to show you how, place value can help you subtract. So you can find one, and Google is your friend. And see, Google, you can type in place value and subtract and see what you can find. Use place value subtract. So these are different ways, different sheets that you can use. And I like this one. So I'm gonna use this one because this represents place values as well. And then you can press the post here. So 200 minus 100 equals 100. 40 minus 6 equals 20. 5 minus 8. So place value help you to subtract the numbers correctly if you know their place value. Place value also is good at reading numbers. So these are some different ways that you can show your answer. You can always record it as well, all right? All right, good job. Now, what is regrouping, Michelle? Regrouping means changing the composition of tens and ones. So ones and tens is going to be your best friend, and making sure the number still has the same value. For example, you can regroup 53 as 4 tens and 13 ones. Regrouping is useful in two-digit subtraction. And Michelle going to show you some other ways. Show you one way here, and then another way that really helps as well. Regrouping is useful in two-digit subtraction when the bottom number is larger than the top number. Now, I know in times past, if you saw 0 minus 4 or 4 minus 0 when you're in first grade, you're thinking, oh, I can subtract that, and I don't have to do anything with it. Well, when you start to subtract two-digit numbers or bigger numbers, if the number is small at the top and the number is bigger at the bottom, like 4 minus 8, you cannot say 8 minus 4 equals 4. I know that was the way we did it, but this is a special rule. When it comes to regrouping, and you're using two-digit numbers or more, because we're going to get higher, three-digit numbers, you have to regroup to make sure there's a bigger number on top to subtract to the smaller number, okay? So we will not need to regroup to subtract because we can subtract 4 minus 2 in the ones place. Some are like that. That means you can subtract without regrouping. Like 4 minus 2 is what class? 2. And 4 minus 1 is what class? 3. So we don't have to regroup. But it can change. We will need to regroup to subtract because we cannot subtract 1 minus 2 in the ones place. We will need to regroup the 4 tens as 3 tens and 10 ones. I'm going to show you how you can borrow from tens place to get your answer to become a bigger number so you can subtract. For example, 41 minus 2. Now, class, can we subtract 1 minus 2? We can. How's that possible? 2 minus 1 equals 1. I know. 2 minus 1 equals 1. I understand 2 minus 1 equals 1. But when it's set up like this, you have to regroup. You cannot change it and flip the number. like pancakes. You can't flip the 2 over and subtract from 1. You have to subtract and face value. That means we cannot subtract 1 minus 2. We have to do something to change that. Okay? So there's a special rule. So I know you thinking if you see 1 minus 2, just flip it. You can't flip it this time. You got to do something special called regrouping, or what else in class? Borrow. Yes, borrow. Good job. Borrow. All right. But the word we're going to use today is regrouping. Okay. Now, do you think, here's your question, you would need to regroup to solve 7 minus 14? Why or why not? I don't think I need to. I don't think. Okay. So some of you all say that if you can subtract 70 minus 4 because you can say 4 minus 0 equals 4. So why is that possible? Oh, that's because when it comes to subtraction, you just subtract whatever the big number is, you subtract from there and get the answer. Now that's some good knowledge. That's some good, thinking right there. But when it comes to subtracting 2-digit numbers, there is a special rule. So remember, when you have a smaller number, like 0 minus 4, now 7 minus 1, that's easy. You can definitely subtract that, but you cannot subtract a smaller number with a big number. You have to do what's that word we're learning? Yeah, regrouping, borrowing, regrouping. Okay. Now let's explain and elaborate. We're gonna do some practice problems together using the strategies on how to regroup numbers. Okay. All right. Every 2-digit subtraction problem includes the following elements. Tens place, that's the 3, what 3 and a 1 is. Then you have the ones place, the 0 and the 5. And so we have to identify the difference. That means we have to identify the answer, the difference of the problem. All right, on the next slide, we're going to practice these terms together. Reading. Now, we can do a matchup here to remind you of what is the difference between each one. So these are all definitions on what does tens place mean, what does the one place means, and what does the difference means. So we're going to start with the answers. These are answers right there. These are the definitions right here. And these are the vocabulary terms. So we got to do some matching up, okay? So you're going to help Michelle do this. So let's start with the top one, the top definition. It says a bundle of tens ones. A bundle of 10 ones. Is that difference? Ones or tens? Ones. A bundle of 10 ones. So a bundle like a base 10 block, that's a 10 or 1. Yes, it's a 10. Okay. Thank you. Oh, so no, that is correctly. So we're going to do tens and tens. Okay. Let's go to the next one. The answer to a subtraction problem. Now, is that the definition of a ones place, or is that the definition of difference? This is the answer. So when you're subtracting these, this is the answer. The answer is it a difference or ones? Okay, difference. Good job. Let's see if that matches up. Yes. And of course, the last definition is a single unit. A single unit is what, class? Yes, the ones place. All right, onward. Well done. What tries? All right, you'll definitely getting some dojo points, class dojo points for your great work. And of course, the more dojo points you get, class, on Fridays we do our game day. Yes, when you play different learning games, as work on different assignments and workstations. Michelle loves group work and workstations, and you all, applying what you have learned in enrichment activities. So the more dojo points you get, the more game opportunities you have on Friday. Okay, so good job. Now on the next slide, we're going to look at a short video, of course, about regrouping. Now I'll play a little bit of it and then we're going to move forward, okay?
Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about subtraction with 2-digit numbers and regrouping. So let's get started and look at a real subtraction problem. Let's say that we've got the number 42 minus 25. Now, before we get started, let's make a drawing of the number 42 so that it's a little easier to see what we're doing. So if we want to draw the number 42, how many tens are there? There are 4 tens, so let's draw them. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So I want you to look at the strategy that he's showing in terms of how to solve this problem. Remember, he is doing the tens place to see how many tens are in that place and how many ones are in the other place in order to identify if it's ready for regrouping, or we can go ahead and subtract the problem.
And how many ones have we got? There are 2 ones, so let's bring in 1, 2 ones. So that's the number 42 drawn with the blue squares, and we're ready to subtract or take away 25. Now the first thing we want to do is subtract our ones, but right away we're going to notice that we've got a problem. We can't do 2 minus 5. We don't have.
Remember, we cannot do 2 minus 5. We're going to look at this problem, then we're going to move on and get some practice problems in, okay? Remember, cannot subtract 2 minus 5. You can't do 5 minus 2 equals 3. I know that's what you want to do, but in this particular sense, everything has to stay in place. The numbers have to stay in place. You can't flip them to get the answer, okay?
We don't have enough ones at the top. We can't take away 5 ones from 2 ones. So where are we going to get some more ones? Well, the answer is we're going to go over to our tens. We're going to take one of our tens right here, and we're going to do something called regrouping. We're going to turn this one group of tens into a group of 10 ones. Then we're going to bring those 10 ones over to our other ones.
So what we do in here, we are borrowing. That's why they call it borrowing, regrouping. So since we don't have enough, numbers in 2 to subtract from 5 to get the answer, so we got to borrow from the tens place. Just like when you borrow from your brother or sister or a classmate, a pencil or a toy, or you borrow something from your mom and dad, or your grandmother and grandfather, whoever's staying with you, you borrow something so you can have enough. So he brought a 10 over. So I want you to think about it. So now he has 10. So what is 1 and 2? What's 10 plus 2? Now you got a 10, 1 10, and a 2. So think about what number is going to become. It's going to become a 12. It's going to become a 12. Now, if you said 12, you are correct. It's going to become a 12. And then we have to, change that 4 to a 3 since we did some borrowing. Like you like to borrow crayons from other people.
This is still the number 42, but we've just regrouped so that we can do our subtraction. Now let's show our regrouping with our numbers. We don't have 4 tens anymore. We've got 3 tens.
See?
And we don't have 2 ones anymore. We've got 12 ones. Now we have enough ones to do our subtraction. What is 12 minus 5? Well, let's take away 5 ones from our drawing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can see that we have 7 left. Now let's move over to our tens, and we take away 2 tens. 1, 2, and we have just 1 10. So the answer to our subtraction problem is 17. All right, so let's see if we can do.
All right. So that's how he used the strategy using base 10 blocks. How he took from 1 and then he brought it over, and 10 plus 2 equals 12. And then as he was subtracting 3 minus 2, he took away 1, 2, and he had 1 base 10 block left. And then as he took away 12, he took away 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He had 7 left. So this is how you can compute and calculate what you have left using base 10 blocks, okay? Now, you can regroup the numbers and subtraction problems by using the break apart method, as he did. On the slideshow that follows, you're going to visualize the method, and then you're going to understand each step of it, okay? And of course, we're going to practice one together, and of course, you'll have an opportunity to do one on your own as evaluation, as an exit ticket, okay? All right. Now, to solve 32 minus 17, we need to regroup because we cannot subtract 2 minus 7. So we can break the whole 32 into 32, 3 tens and 10 ones using place value box, okay? And then we can regroup one of the tens as 10 ones, okay? Finally, we can subtract 17 from 32 to find the difference. And the difference is 15. Now that's the strategy. Now we're going to apply the strategy together. All right. We're going to do this one together. Then you're going to have an opportunity to do one on your own for understanding. Okay. So we'll do this one together. And the first thing you need to do, of course, with Ms. Shed, you always want to put the problem in vertical. I know it's horizontal going sideways, but it's easy for you to calculate if you do it vertical, okay? So always write your numbers like this, okay? Michelle's going oopsie. Make sure you erase because my little thing is getting a little happy here. All right. One and a 4. All right, now remember, we have 71 minus 14. Remember, 1 minus 4, we cannot subtract 1 minus 4. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to do our base 10 blocks, of course. And of course, we're going to draw our base 10 blocks, and you can draw your base 10 blocks right here. And you can have 7 of them due to room and time. Like, Miss Shed, I don't have no room. So you can make your 7 here, and I'm going to draw one right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And of course, you have one circle. Okay. But now we have 1 here, and then we have 7 base 10s. Now, remember the strategy there. Now, we cannot subtract 1 minus 4. So we need to do some borrowing. So we're going to take one of these set of 10s here. We're going to take one of those and put it over here with in the ones place. So what number do we have now? Of course, I'm going to cross it out. You have one set of ones, which is 1. And then you have 1. So 1, 1, 11. Good job. And since we took some from the tens place, we got to scratch that out. It's not 7 anymore. We have 6 base 10 blocks, okay? Now we have 6 minus 1 and 11 minus 4. And so now we can use our base 10 block strategy, our break apart strategy to determine the number. So we have 6. And of course, if we take away one of these, and this is the 1, we take away 1, we have 5 base 10 blocks left, right? Okay, and I'm going to circle so you can see. Let me share this. Let me share. I can't really see. All right. And then, of course, we have 11. And if we take away 4 of these, 1, it's 10 sets, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to add more so you can see the actual computation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm do one more, 10, okay? So if we have 11, we take away 4 of these, right? We're going to take away 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we count how many we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's see here. Make sure I did this correctly. So we have 11 of them, right? So we took away 4 of them. So we're going to take away 1 of these, and then we're going to take 3 more of these. 1, 2, and 3. And now 11 minus 4 is 7, okay? All right. 57. So that'll be your answer for that one, okay? Now you're going to do one on your own as an exit ticket. And I want you to show Ms. Shed with your strategies. And of course, if you need assistance, feel free to ask Ms. Shed. But I want you to put your 92. Always put your numbers in vertical. And give yourself room to draw your base 10 blocks on your sheet of paper or on the board. I would recommend you use a sheet of paper if you need more room. And then you can always, show your answer on the screen. Say, Miss, here we go. Okay. So what I want you to do is draw the base 10 blocks for 9. And then the ones, the circles in 2. And then I want you to use the break apart strategy on how you're going to change that 2 to another number and how you're going to regroup. So I want you to show the regrouping strategies. Okay. All right. Good job. And I'll be coming around to check your work. Good job.